In this video, we're going to take a look at the Fly Sion BMX bike, and I'm going to help you decide if this is a good bike for you. So the Fly Sion is a high-level BMX bike that weighs 24.9 pounds and costs $639. In this review, I'm going to help you decide if this is a good bike for you or if you need to spend your money on a different BMX bike. But before we get into the quality and the specs and the fine details of the Fly Sion, I need to tell you about something that's going to save you a lot of time. I put together a BMX matchmaker service, and what this does is it pairs you with 3 BMX bikes that are absolutely perfect for you. My first bike was really small and really low quality, and so within like 6 months I broke it. I broke the frame, I broke pretty much everything, and I had to get a new bike. It was really frustrating because, well, a new bike was expensive, and I don't want that to happen to you. If you click the link up here on the screen and request a bike recommendation, you just fill out your information, tell me a little bit about yourself, your budget, your height, your skill level. I'm going to find 3 bikes that are perfect for you, and I'll email them back to you in a day. So all you need to do is tell me about yourself. I'll find those 3 bikes, and then you check your email in about a day and buy your next bike. It's going to save you a lot of time, and I wish that this was around when I bought my first BMX bike. It would have saved me a lot of time and money. Now, some frequently asked questions about the Fly Sion include how much does it weigh? The Fly Sion weighs 24.9 pounds, making it a pretty light bike. Can you upgrade the Fly Sion? Yes, this is a solid bike and all the parts on there can be replaced. They can be upgraded, they can be customized. You can swap out the pedals, the cranks, the bars, the grips, the stem. Like, you can replace this bike and upgrade it however you want. Can you grind with the Fly Sion? Actually, yes, this bike comes with 2 pegs and 2 hub guards. A lot of complete BMX bikes do not come with pegs and hub guards, so it's really exciting to see the Fly Sion comes with pegs and hub guards. If you get a bike without pegs and hub guards, you've got to buy pegs and hub guards separately, which is more money and more time waiting to get out and ride your bike. You can unbox this thing, put it together, and start grinding right away. Does the Fly Sion come with brakes? Yes, it's going to come with stock brakes, nothing special, nothing crazy, but these stock brakes you can choose if you buy it from Fly's website if you want it to come with brakes or not. If you get it without brakes, you can actually save quite a bit of money. It's going to be totally up to you. I recommend new riders definitely ride with brakes, but if you're more experienced, like I ride without brakes, and I took the brakes off after riding for a couple of years because I liked the freedom that it provided. But I recommend new riders definitely ride with brakes. If you're tight on money or you don't plan to ride brakes, you can buy this bike without brakes and save some money. What kind of hub does the Fly Sion have? It has a sealed cassette hub. It's a 9-tooth driver and a 28-tooth sprocket in front, which is also very rare to see on a complete bike. So let's talk about the sizing of the Fly Sion and figure out if this is the right size for you. This bike comes with a 21-inch top tube, making it an extra large top tube size. The 21-inch top tube is best for riders who are around 6 foot. You can get this bike and ride it if you're like, I don't know, 5'9" or 6'3", but 6 foot is the perfect size for someone who, or for a 21-inch top tube. So if you're 6 foot, get a 21-inch top tube. You can, like I said, you can still ride it if you're 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", anywhere in between there, but the perfect size is 6 foot. Now, because of the other geometries on the frame, this bike is pretty mellow. It has a more mellow chainstay, a taller standover height. It's got that longer top tube. So overall, this bike is going to feel more mellow and not as responsive as some other bikes like the Kink Switch or the We the People Reason. You know, those are 2 really responsive bikes. The Fly Sion's going to be a lot more mellow. Okay, so we understand the sizing and how this bike's going to handle. Let's talk about the quality of the parts on the Fly Sion. The handlebars on the Fly Sion are full chromoly handlebars. The forks and the frame are also both full chromoly handlebars. We've got double wall pinned rims on the front and the back, meaning these are solid. Double wall rims are way better than single wall, and I definitely recommend them over single wall. We also have full chromoly 8-spline cranks. Full chromoly 8-spline cranks. That's right. Now, they look like 48-spline cranks if you look closely, but they're actually still 8-spline. They just don't have a pinch bolt. Actually, they might be 16 spline. They're not 48 spline, but they're designed, the treble cranks are designed in a way that gives them a little bit of a unique look compared to other 8 spline cranks and other complete bike cranks. I want to break down the quality difference real quick because you might be wondering, okay, well, why is chromoly so important? High tensile steel is a more affordable metal option, but it's also a lot less durable. It's heavier and it tends to bend on impact. That first bike that I was talking about was high tensile steel, and all of the parts on it bent because I was too heavy and I was riding it too hard. Chromoly is a little bit more expensive, but it's like 4 times stronger. It's also quite a bit lighter, and it cracks at the welds because the tubing is so much stronger than high tensile steel. If it's going to have a break, then it's usually at the welds, which is the weaker point there. Okay, so with that quality being said, the Fly Sion scores a 7.38 in quality, putting it pretty far along the scale. Let's talk about some pros and cons of this bike. Some of the pros include that, this is a good value. For the price, I think that this is a solid value. It's good quality, it's got reliable parts, and it's built to last. I was really impressed looking at not just the quality of the bike, but the parts package also. This bike has 2 steel pegs put on there. Okay, now some of the cons include this could be a little bit higher price point, and the fact that the brakes don't, like, I don't know how to explain it. The lower price point is great and it makes it a really great value, but you only get it at that lower price point if you don't have brakes on the bike. If you want to go with brakes, this bike is closer to the $700 price point, making it slightly overpriced. The other complaint I have about this bike is that availability might be a little bit hard. Fly is based out of Spain. You can buy this bike directly from their website, but in terms of distributors, a lot of big companies, you can't find Fly bikes from them. Fly bikes are a little bit hard to get your hands on, so the availability might be tough. Okay, let's talk about how this bike scored for riding street, for park, and for dirt. Is this a good bike for the type of riding that you like to do? Well, in street, it scored a 5.31. In park, it scored a 5.36. And in dirt, it scored a 6.8. Obviously, this bike is going to be better for dirt, and that's mostly because that bigger gear ratio that I mentioned at the beginning and the longer frame geometry, the more stable frame geometry. But because it has pegs and it's street friendly, it's going to score pretty good in street, and it's also got a little bit of a responsive fork and head tube angle, making it good for park. So this is one of the most well-rounded bikes that I've reviewed so far. It's pretty high quality and scores straight across the board. Now, does the Fly Sion have a warranty? And it actually does. On their website, Fly says that they have a 2-year warranty against manufacturer defects on pretty much everything that they make, and this includes complete bikes. So if you buy the Fly Sion and you have an issue with it and it's determined to be a manufacturer defect, you're going to get those parts replaced. Fly is going to help you out. This is a lot different than Colt that we talked about, where they only have a half-assed warranty on their frames, and that may or may not include the frames on the complete bikes. So I was really happy to read that Fly covers this bike for 2 years against manufacturer defects. Now, manufacturer defects is really going to be determined by Fly. If you throw your bike off a building, if it gets hit by a train, or somebody steals it and grinds it up, like, that's not going to count. But if you have something funky happen, like a weird snap on the frame or something like that, that could be a manufacturer defect, and you will get that warranty done. So my honest thoughts about the Fly Sion is that, this is a fair bike. Now, I'm a little disappointed, like I said, about that price point increase if you get the bike with brakes. Now, this isn't necessarily a beginner BMX bike. It's more of a mid-level to high-level BMX bike. But riders who are riding at the caliber where they can comfortably ride brakeless and do tricks brakeless, they're probably buying their own custom bike anyway. And so the people who would be buying this bike are less experienced riders who want something that's high quality, that's going to last for them as they learn new tricks. And so I do think that getting it with brakes is the better choice and the better option, and that makes this bike a little bit expensive. Now, in terms of value though, when you spend the money to get this bike, you're absolutely getting great quality. Like, it's not like some other bikes where you spend a lot of money and you get bad quality. This is a bike where if you're spending a good amount of money and you're getting pretty good quality with it. Like, you're not going to have to worry about the stuff breaking, even if you're a mid-level rider. It's got solid parts. It's very unique. You know, it scores very consistently 5s to 6s in park, street, and dirt. And all of the parts, like I said, it's got steeper forks. It's got a 28:9 gear ratio. It's got longer back end on the frame. It's designed to be very well rounded and be a perfect bike for all types of riders. Now, if you enjoyed this review, you want to check out this review here about this review of similar quality fly bikes. And you also might want to check out the top 11 BMX bikes this year. The Fly Sion was not on the list. Let me know in the comments if you think it should have made it on the list or not. We'll see you guys in the next video.